Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. It's Rad, and tonight we're gonna check into what we should expect for next few days. And first things first, as per usual, what I'm gonna do is the collective reading for what we need to know at this very moment. And the first card that I drew about a couple of hours ago, so I can use it for a thumbnail, that is the King of Cups. Followed by the second card, which is the Six of Swords. And the third one, that is going to be the Fool card. So these are the three we have here. And it's a bit of a generic message, for a lack of better expression here. For the big thing we should take from these three cards, it is that next few days, although the weekends are coming about, is that we need to maintain our focus, so to speak, primarily within our professional fields, primarily within the topics into our lives, whether career-wise or whether relationship-wise or whether social-wise, if you will, where we are banking on a lot and there is a lot of hanging on and riding on in general into these fields. For what these cards are showing here is that the least we want to represent ourselves in front of people, and not just only people, but also say developments of the future, is irresponsible in brushing things off like, you know, it's not of a big deal. Well, especially when it comes to our emotional predisposition and as well our emotional display, so to speak, it is a big deal. In terms of exploitation, what I mean it is that within the next few days, there is a high chance, if we are irresponsible toward our emotions and how we do display our emotions, that state to be exploited, obviously from not very amicable people. Well, what am I talking about? Amicable, hostile people even, right? So exploited from a hostile people. And the reason for that is that within the next few days, having those cards around, primarily here the Fool and the King of Cups, staying like that, that gives us a predisposition to share our feelings and emotions, not just only that we do have them for a people, but also for a particular development. For example, we don't feel good about certain thing, or we feel desperate about one thing or another. And that state, like I said, if we do share that in front of people that are not directly involved into the thing, into the enterprise, there is a big chance that this state of ours is to be exploited. Taco, thank you for the $33.33, mate. Thank you. The end of the stream, as per usual, and just like Yasmin, you're gonna have your personalized reading. So, what is important to be taken from these cards is that within the next few days, our emotions needs to be shared only toward whom they are directed to. And another example, we say you like someone, right? You like a girl or you like a guy, based on your preferences. Because you like that person doesn't mean that the whole world needs to know about it. What is going to be important is that they know about it. The rest, well, they better be left into obscurity. And another thing that we need to know for the next few days, it is that we should go along the already walked paths. What I mean is that these are not days where we need to throw a Hail Mary. These aren't days where we need to be innovative, so to speak. These are days where there are certain ways how things are done, for example, by the book, and that is the way that we need to do them, especially when it comes to a professional development for the next few days. And so, that said, this is going to do it for the collective reading. Now there are going to be 12 readings, one for each star sign. I'm going to start with Aries and I'm going to end up with Pisces because I'm running the ecliptic here. And while these are going to be readings for the star signs, bear in mind these are not your personal readings. Therefore, depending on how strong or prominent one star sign or another is within your natal chart, that will determine how these readings and where these readings are going to affect you. And if you do wish your personal situations, however, to be a subject of my interpretation, you can always go to my website. Link of it you're going to find in the description down below. And there on the very front page, you can see full list of my services as well, their pricing. And based on your budget and as well your needs, you can go for whichever service suits you best. Other than that, if you do enjoy the show and you do wish to support us, you can do so using Super Chat here in YouTube or a PayPal, link of which you're going to find in the description down below. And anyone who does so, you guys are going to have a reading at the end of the stream. That's pretty much guaranteed. Well, I don't think that you need one, Radko. Because Hail Mary is for a desperate people. Right, so starting up first. Do I have Aries? First one for Aries, Three of Pentacles. Followed by the Lovers. And the third one, that is going to be the Seven of Cups. Right, so again, professional development, it is what we do have here. And what these cards are saying for you, Aries, is that you don't have to like the people that you're working with, because you aren't going to work or doing business to make friends. You are going to work or doing business to make money. For what you need to know, it is that probably for the most unlikable people, actually the growth is going to come about when it comes to your professional development and the development of your business as well. That is what those cards are saying. People that you, or I would say colleagues or partners, you know, clients even, that are, let's say, obnoxious, let's say, what do you call it? Mattia, thank you for the $20 PayPal. Thank you, Mattia. Let me put you into the list. At the end of the stream, you're going to have your personalized reading. Obnoxious in as well, say reckless, say as well unbearable, if you will, to work with them. But the thing is, what those cards are saying here is that they do possess the means in order to support your agenda, in order to support your goal when it comes to business and when it comes to career development. And sometimes, unfortunately, you know, in order to grow forward, one has to make a deal with the devil. And that is what you need to know. I mean, if you do wish a support, to have a support when it comes to growth and career development for the next few days, that is what you have to do. And again, you don't have to like them, okay? It all comes to that, can the job be done? And for what those cards are showing, and what you need to know, it is that yes, it can be done. In fact, with that Seven of Cups being next to the Three of Pentacles, the result may even surprise you how good is going to come around. Right, next we do have Taurus. Two of Cups. The Wheel of Fortune. The Hierophant. Now that strongly suggests some kind of a romantic development for the next few days for you. Whether you take on that development or not, well, that is entirely up for you to decide. But what you need to know, guys, is that there is no chance into it. What I mean is that this development follows you, okay? It is because you are up for the task. What I mean is that you fit perfectly within the narrative and within the expectations from the other side of that development. And if you do decide to take on this development, well, you gotta arm yourself with somewhat of a patience, right? Because the first step is building up trust in mutual reliability. So before you make a step for a commitment, or rather deep commitment, okay, first thing you need to ask yourself is, do I trust the woman or do I trust the man that I am going out with, right, or, you know, dating with? And if the answer is pretty much yes, and the second one needs to be as well, you know, can I rely on this person? If the answers are yes and they have proven themselves to you, then it's a green light for you to go forward with a deep commitment. But as this is a general reading, a few words as well for a career development here, it is that there will be a peaceful times for the next few days. That is what you need to know, that there is no one that is going to mess around with your business, right? There is no one that is going to mess around with your work. So you're going to have a relatively uninterrupted times for you to do your job. That is going to be an important thing. Right, so that was Taurus. Next, we have Gemini. First one, Five of Wands, followed by the King of Wands. And the third one, that is going to be the Fool. It's a pretty simple interpretation, okay? So what you need to know is that you are about to have an opening. Unbelievable one, in fact. I mean, I think that is going to be... what is the opposite of fiasco? A furor, I believe that is how it's called. So having a furor, that is the opposite thing, you know. Fiasco is a colossal failure. Well, furor, it's actually a colossal breakthrough. So that will happen kind of quite unexpectedly in a way that the circumstances around this opening will be very, very surprising. And it will be a window of opportunity that's pretty much you need to take here, or you should take, because you wouldn't believe how well things are actually setting up for you. And this setup will allow you to further your ambition, whatever ambition you do have, this setup of circumstances will allow you to transform it into a very, very powerful drive. And you know, people may have a few ambitions going forward, and the ambition that these cards are referring to, it is the one that it is almost thrown out of the window. So it is the one that it has a least chances of development, where you are going to have the setup for it to pretty much put it into action within the next few days. So obviously highly advisable not to miss it. And another thing it is that whatever predicaments it had in the past that put it into a place of no-go, these predicaments are no longer going to be in place. So you can also consider it starting afresh to develop that ambition of yours, whether this is an ambition of a personal business, whether this is an ambition of happy family, whatever the case, right? Whatever ambition you do have. Right, so that was Gemini. Moving forward, Cancer. Seven of Cups. King of Cups. And the third one, that is going to be the Page of Swords. That will be an offer that is going to come your way. So that is what you need to know. There is an offer which is nigh. Okay, it may take a few days to come your way, but it is coming your way. And this offer, it will be a big thing. Okay, I don't want to say that it's going to be an unbelievable proposal, but it will be a big thing, because what these cards are proposing here is that you may think that the door for such a thing is shut. But alas, it comes about. Now, a couple of things are important to know here. Okay, one, it is that while the offer is going to be amazing, it's going to sound amazing, and definitely what is intended to what it is intended to do, or whatever purpose it is intended to serve, it can be accomplished. Okay, it can be achieved. So that said, you won't be lied to when you know that offer comes about and something is promised to you. But also, you should not lose yourself into the excitement, for there is a long way to go until the end goal is pretty much accomplished. And therefore, while this is going to be a great offer for you, you do have a lot to accomplish before this offer pretty much reach its completion. And another thing that you do need to know is that when this offer comes about, take it with a grain of salt, because while it may seem that you are going to have it your way all the way up to the end, that's not going to be the case. There are going to be some kind of a criteria and some kind of a demand, so to speak, that you need to uphold in order to walk that way, to walk that road and reach the end of the destination here we do have ahead. So yeah, it's a great for Cancer. Moving next, that will be Leo. Ace of Cups, the Sun, Two of Cups. Now that is one of the elemental dignities. Well, instead of the sun, we do have the Ace of Wands, but that is one of the examples when I'm teaching my students of the elemental dignities. Okay, that particular elemental dignity, passive enemies, and what it says, it is that this is going to be, well, with the Ace of Wands, it's a little bit more morbid, okay? With the sun isn't that bad, but still. So what it says is that what you need to know, it is that super good times are coming your way. Now, when we do have the Ace of Cups as a primary card, that pretty much states that there is an impending change which is going to transform a field of your life that you have no hope for bringing back on its feet. So for example, if your love life is DOA, then that is going to be shifted in complete revival. And suddenly, you know, you're going to have a lot of, say, flourishing emotions, obviously, because there is going to be a source of them, whether a man or a woman, and or whether some kind of a returnal of an ex and whatnot. You know, if your career is going nowhere, then this is where the shift is going to take place, and suddenly it's going to take off and whatnot. Now, when we do have the Ace of Wands, that means that it's going to be an unwanted thing, right? It takes off, but it is not the way you want to take it off, which is obviously not a good thing, right? I mean, if your love life is about to take off and you have the Ace of Wands, that is going to be with a person you don't want to have in your life. But here we do have the sun. And the sun to the Ace of Cups pretty much states that you are going to feel awkward. You're going to feel like this isn't your place. And that is not the game you can play. Although you can learn to play it, for now, it's not something that you're going to feel comfortable with. And that is just a feeling, okay? It may not be a reality. So don't be surprised if you feel a bit, say, reluctant to take on this, let's call it an amazing opportunity to change the game, right? And to make a difference, in your life. And that refers to whether a partnership or, again, whether a romantic endeavor. So if it is a romantic endeavor, for example, the whole interaction with the person that you're going to have an endeavor, it will feel awkward and out of place, at least for the next few days. Don't allow that to scare you, though. It's still what is permanent, and what is certain it is that this is a game changing for you. You just have to gnash your teeth and push through it. Push through that initial stage that you do feel awkward. Right, Virgo. Six of Swords. Eight of Cups. The High Priestess. So first thing you need to know is that there is a stir. There is a stir that it is about to not overwhelm you, but kind of like take you on. And through that stir, your current disappointments will kind of lose relevance. So they wouldn't matter. But the stir itself is not going to be in the field of your disappointment. So for example, right, let me give you an example here. You are disappointed from your love life, okay? Whether you're disappointed from the person you're dating or from your spouse. But in the next few days, a stir in your career takes on, and you don't have just time right now to worry about your love life, because you really have to press into the career. And the star itself will revolve will revolve around a dream you have for yourself, for your personal growth. And the star will allow you to make the first baby steps toward that dream. Now, whether you're going to follow all the way through, well, that depends entirely on you and your choice. But you're going to find yourself sitting on a threshold that you need to traverse, that you should traverse in order to set things in motion. And that is where the star takes on. So at least for the next few days, whatever you're worried about right now, you're going to stop worrying, because you're going to have a bigger fish to fry rather than it. Right, next, that will be Libra. Page of Pentacles, Ten of Wands, Two of Wands, that revolves around a specific individual. That could be your child, a coworker, or a family member. But their presence, and I would assume here that it is about their needs. So their needs are gonna get in the way of your drive. Whether you drive to make something about your job, or whether you drive to have more freedom, and so on and so forth. But their needs and their dedication, and in generally the weight that they do have within your life, is getting away on it. Is getting away of your drive, and there is going to be responsibilities that you will need to fulfill toward that person. So what you need to know is that within the next few days, you're going to have one more thing that you don't want on your plate that regards to, again, a close person of yours. There is another read here. There is another interpretation, and that is a friendship transforming into something more. Now, most likely romance, but also it's not excluded, a business partnership. In either way, though, if you want things to work, that friendship needs to be omitted. What I mean is that if you do want the romance to work, that it is development, then you cannot be friends, okay? If you do want that business partnership to work, then you cannot be friends. Again, you have to pick one of the two, but you can't have both of the statuses intermingling with one another. All right, next, Scorpio. Temperance. Knight of Swords. Two of Wands. So for Scorpio, it's hello, Melissa. For Scorpio, is all about growth within their current endeavors and within what they're doing. And we're talking about a recent developments, recent endeavors here. Something that they have made some progress, but not entire progress. Like they have made some accomplishments. For example, you were able to impress someone you wanted to impress. You were able to reach a milestone of a project and whatnot. Okay, or we rather, because I am Scorpio as well. And reaching up a stage where we are less comfortable with, less experienced with. Okay, and what we need to know is that this time around, actually, we're going to choose right for a change. Okay, that is literally what these cards are saying. It is that this time around, whether through sheer luck or gambling or whatever the case, okay, this time around we're going to say the right thing, we're going to do the right thing or choose the right option moving forward, which is going to allow us to further the accomplishments forward and expand on them and basically get a bigger gains from the enterprise that we have recently started, whether that is an enterprise of engagement, whether that is in an enterprise of a business, okay, or enterprise with a client, or enterprise with a person we have as a friend. But what we need to know, yes, it is that this time around we're going to do the right thing, okay? And that is through a discernment as well. I mean, we were going to be able to discern right and go forward with it. All right. Well, I can tell you what it is for me to say the right thing, because I usually end up, you know, kind of like saying something that for me it's completely acceptable, but for the other side it is something like, ugh. Ask Pisces Moonbeam about it. At the start of our friendship, how many times she was insulted. It is like, it was countless times, because I say something that, you know, it's not a big deal for me. If you say it to me, I wouldn't budge, right? It's just but apparently, you know, yeah, at last we get it right. This time around, Melissa. So don't get too cocky, right? All right, Sagittarius. Knight of Swords. The High Priestess. Yeah, it was kind of like, it was hilarious, because we were talking, you know, we're talking about work and about things in life, and I say something and you are so disrespectful, comes from the other side, and you are, how could you say that? And what the fuck did I say? Oh my god. You know, I'm saying that every single day. This thing is said to me many times, and it's just, for me, something mundane. So yeah, I didn't have any ill intentions or anything like this. All right, for Sagittarius, information. What you need to know, guys, it is that according to these cards, you are following a wrong person's advice. And this will actually gonna hit you big time, in a sense of that you are going to realize it, like an epiphany or whatever you want to call it, is that you're gonna have not epiphany, that is not the right word. What am I talking about? A insight. You're gonna have an enlightenment, an insight that you are following the wrong person's advice. Now, according to these cards, not too late at all, right? I mean, you can change your opinion, change the course of events. Things are not beyond reprimension. Things aren't so far down the road that you can't actually go back from. Well, of course, there is going to be a certain delay here, but you still have the option that is going to work for you, and simultaneously, it's something that you would like to go forward with. That is what you need to know, that it is not too late to back off. And how you're going to recognize that is that the advice that it is given to you, it doesn't make sense to you, okay? But still, it works for the other side. And you know, the person that gives you the advice doesn't need to have a malevolent intentions toward you. It is just, it works for them, but that doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. And as it's not going to work for you, it's by definition a bad advice. Yeah, yeah, I remember those days. Too cold, eh? Well, Pisces Moonbeam, for as far as I remember, we were arguing for weeks on a topic. Uh, 10 of Cups for Capricorn. Queen of Swords. 10 of Swords. Hold on to get a glass of water, guys. It's a matter of perception. I mean, you're gonna hate the message here, but according to these cards, what you need to know is that you do have everything you need to be happy. All right. I mean, the current situation you have does not dictate that you need to make a choice or an action that you are gonna regret later, and that you definitely don't have to provoke and cross certain lines, cross a certain people, at least for now. What you need to know is that next few days are days where you should avoid conflicts and where you should avoid making troubles for yourself. That is literally what these cards are saying for you guys. All right, moving next. That will be Aquarius. Yeah, Pisces Moonbeam. I mean, our bond was so toxic. It was crazy how toxic it was. Ace of Wands. Four of Swords. The World. It's a gainful opportunity that you need to, what you need to know is that the gainful opportunity that you will need to research about it a lot, because there is no question that you are going to have gains. The question is how big of a gains and for how long, or how long you will need to toil for these gains, right? And so for that, what you need to know is that you do have a faithful companions or a professional expertise around you that can give you an answer to these questions. Now, consulting yourself with professionals like physicians about your diet, if you think that if you are taking on an opportunity to change your diet, which could be a gainful opportunity. This could be some kind of trainers or even a medical doctors if you are taking on an opportunity to, I don't know, start working out. Okay, this could be some kind of financial advisors if you are taking on a gainful opportunity to expand your business, and so on and so forth. Okay, it's very important. What you need to know is that you should consult yourself with professionals before you start that gainful opportunity which is coming your way, because there is going to be a lot you don't know about it. There is going to be a lot that it is coming your way with it that you are not prepared for, simply because you are not going to expect it. But through the advice of these people or of that person, you will know what's coming and you will be able to take a precautionary measures for it, and it's not going to be a big trouble for you. Yeah, I was I mean, I remember, you know, when you had that opinion that I am wasting myself, you know. I believe you still have that opinion. But yeah, guys, I'm trying to muster the enthusiasm to start making videos again. That is something I am trying to do, okay, for a long time now. And just can I put it into words? Uh, every time I kind of like determine myself to do it, so something happens and it just isn't working out. So, but there is one thing on the list: start doing videos again. Probably something small at the start just to get the hang of it, just to get into rhythm before I go for the big spreads. And there is another thing which is kind of like making... Oh, I'm not gonna get into it because, you know, it has a topic that I'm not allowed to speak about, but that is also there is a side of it that is getting on the way. And that's why I stopped making videos for how many now? How long now? 2 years maybe? Nine of Swords. King of Swords. Five of Swords. Oh my. What do you need to know? It is that you can't be the sheep anymore. That is a parable we do have in our country, you know. The one who is the sheep is basically the one being stuffed into the corner and everybody tramples over them. Okay, you can't be like that anymore. And what I need to know it is about time you to make a stand. And it's not even about confronting people, it is about making things working for yourself, right? So what you need to know is that you have to take responsibility towards your own well-being, Pisces, in the next few days. I mean, just if you have to, you must slam on the table and just demand, you know, demand respect, demand payment, or a attitude as well. Depends on what you are deprived of. How deprived, bereft from. And it will take a lot of courage. I mean, we do have the Nine of Swords, which is a deep fear. For example, speaking up your mind of a fear being left alone from your relationship because, you know, sometimes people react that, or speaking up your mind, not speaking up your mind because you are afraid you're going to be kicked off work, and so on and so forth. And you need to take measures from that because according to these cards, because you are withholding that, things aren't working for you and they ain't going to start working for you on their own accord. You got to do something about it, or you just have to stop being a part of it and start and instead replace with something that is going to work for you. Next few days for you Pisces are days where you gotta make things work for you, right? Through actions and through personal sovereignty. Because they ain't gonna start working, like I said, they ain't gonna start working for you on their own accord. Yeah. we're here because I made it very clear, and that work in business and all these things coming about with it are not my priority. Of course, I have to put something to feed myself with, right? But this is a secondary to freedom in life. All right. That was for the 12th. Now going for the super chat. Anyone who supported us either through super chat or through PayPal, you guys are about to get a reading right now. And the first one, that is going to be Yasmin. So let's check Yasmin. What is coming your way? But before I go for it, I will satiate my hunger for nicotine. Freedom. Yeah, Taco. Yeah, mate. Freedom and health is something you cannot buy with money, right? Everything else you can buy, but freedom and health you cannot. And I'm talking all kind of freedom. Because you may be free physically, but here, if you have 100 things to worry about, then you ain't free at all. And especially if you do allow your happiness to depend on someone else, and then you are not free at all. They do. I agree. But the thing is that, we put ourselves into it. We put ourselves into position to worry about, or we put ourselves into position to be constrained physically. Whether through making illegal actions, okay, or just putting ourselves into position someone to have a leverage, toward us. But at the end of the day, all right, guys, I'm gonna share something with you. Last few days or last week or so, I haven't been very active here on YouTube or everywhere, in fact, because my granny passed away. And, her whole life, she was very materialistic person. And I don't blame her for it, because, she grew up in a extreme poverty. Back in the day, Second World War and all these kind of things, okay, and the fallout of that, and then the communism and you name it. And she was kind of like, she had that notebook, okay, she had that notes where she was basically scratching up every single cent that she spent about one thing or another. And at her final days, when I saw her, only one question came to my mind. What was that all about for? I mean, at the end of the day, we all come and go the same way, right? I mean, coffin doesn't have any pockets. You cannot take your bank account beyond the grave. So why is that all about? Why the hustle, right? We have one life. And it's not, the phrase that you have one life and you live only once. And while it's true you have one life, you live every single day, right? You die once. So let's make that living worth our while. And what is the worth of it if we spend all our time worry over things, like worry over how we are going to make money for that and for this? All we need is to feed. Thank you, guys. And some base point of entertainment, you know, book, having a TV, having an internet, having a car, you know, it needs to do the job. Because you know, a simple car of, I don't know, $5,000 or $10,000 is going to do the same job that the Porsche or the Lambo is going to do. Yeah, it's not going to be that flashy, but who gives a damn? I don't. What is the point of having a mansion? You can be in just one room. You can't be in every room of that mansion. So what is the point of having one? Yeah, yeah. Anyway, let's get back to the super chat. Enough ranting about it. All right, Yasmin, you go first. All right, Yasmin, these are your cards here. So we do have the Five of Wands being influenced by the Three of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. Let me put out my camera preview. Most likely that will refer to the job you have or the business you run, okay? And the people which are involved into it. So what you need to know is that there is going to be an opening or an opportunity just for you, and not for the rest, right? And it will be a small one and very genuine. So what you need to know is that these cards are advising you to take it. And what I think it is that this is some kind of a side job, all right? Some kind of a side contract, something that only, that it is again meant only for you, but it does not break the partnerships you have thus far, or the friendships you have, or the co-working relationships that you do have thus far. And this this opportunity will allow you to carry on with it for a kind of like a long time. What I mean is that is going to be something stable, and probably is going to bring you as well a stable income. But again, even if you do want to involve more people into it, while it is possible, it's going to be highly unlikely that you can bring everybody on stage with it. So that is what you need to know. Another thing is that if you are trying to have a child, if you are capable to do so, of course, because I do not read for for health, you know that. But what these cards are showing here is that if you are trying so, there is a big chance that you may succeed of conceiving within the next few days to a week or two. All right. Taco, you're next, mate. Hmm. All right, so these are your Lenormand cards, Taco, these four. We do have the snake, the anchor, the clouds, and then the house, okay? And these are your tarot cards, four of cups, the devil, and the two of wands. And what you need to know is that within the next few days to a week or two, you're gonna come to understanding why things aren't working out that are concerning your domain, primarily housing, primarily your home, primarily even it could fall with, properties, real estate properties. And that reason will have a name, right? That reason will have a name. It could be a family member that is working against you. It could be, it's highly unlikely to be a competitor. That is something that someone that you know, someone that it's a traitor, right? It is simply said, it is a traitor, because for better or for worse, to a certain extent, you do trust that person, and alas, you have misplaced your trust. Yeah. Well, you're gonna come up to understanding who that person is, right? And according to these cards, they were doing it so for quite a while now, right? They're doing it so for quite a while. You're going to have an option available. Now, the good thing here, Taco, for you, it is that you do have a leverage against this individual. In other words, you can trip them very, 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 very bad. Whether you're going to use that power or not, that is entirely up to you, mate. Okay, just so you know. But again, what you need to know it is that the reason why things aren't working out for you when it comes to properties has a name, and you're gonna know that name in the next few days to a week or two. All right. And next we do have Mattia. Hey, Cinnamon Kiss. You're welcome, Taco. All right, Mattia. Those are the cards that we do have for you. A resourceful man is gonna call you when it comes to work. And what this man is gonna have to say, I believe that is gonna be a postpone. All right, by the look of those cards, I do believe that is gonna be a postpone. Like, you know, the deal that you are working on right now with this individual, it's, while it is a good deal, it's not gonna be possible at this point, but they are gonna have it in stash, right? They are gonna store it out, and you will be able to initiate on that deal later on. Because I know that you do real estate, say you do have a property that you are selling, okay? It is very expensive, and you do have that customer which is very interested, and they call you and tell you, you know, well, I can't actually buy it right now because I have something else on my mind, but if that property is still selling, I will be able to do so in a week or two or in a month or two. All right, so it's going to be a postpone that we do have, which is going to make you quite well, I can't say really unhappy, but like a bit disappointed. But the thing is that you won't be able to do anything about it right now. So the worst thing you can do is try to kind of like change the deal or push forward with it, or in a sense of like trying to press that person. Well, it's a bit complicated, but for now, yes, I have moved. Well, the product is gonna come around, Cinnamon Kiss. So just put it on hold, Mattia. That is the most important thing here. Just put it on hold. It's not even taking a loss. It's more like kicking down the can. And in the future, even what I think is going to happen here is that while this person, it's not upholding their part of the bargain for a certain amount of time, you know, the price is going to raise, and at the end you're going to have even bigger profits. Because what these cards are showing here is that yes, things aren't going to work out right now with that resourceful man, right? But you will have a better perspective in regards to that person into the future, right? So even though a deal is very likely to fall, not to fall apart, but kind of like be postponed in the next few days, you're gonna get more than the anticipated from the deal itself in the future. All right, guys, I think that's gonna do it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your generosity, and we are gonna see each other next time. Until then, bye.